Coming to you live from the comfort of our own homes and into yours, the Championship Dart Circuit is proud to present the CDC Championship League United States Premier Match of the Week, presented by Magic Darts Incorporated. Hello again, everyone, and happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm Colin Cosell, and can you believe it? We're already into Week 5, and things are really starting to heat up around the league, and the playoff picture is starting to come into focus. Tonight can mark the end of the road for one of our champions, as the Chainsaw, Joe Chaney, is in a do-or-die battle with none other than Chuck Puleo, whose own playoff hopes could take a blow with a loss. But I'll have more on them in just a moment. In the meantime, let's have a look at the upcoming featured matches on the live stream tomorrow into next week. We'll be back on the USA Darts YouTube channels and CDC Facebook stream next week, this week. But next week, we've got Sean Brenneman versus Kylie Edmonds. If Edmonds wins, Kerry Waite's playoffs hopes are dashed. And then the pivotal Week 6, as we return to Magic Darts Incorporated streams, a possible Canada Division Championship preview as Jim Long and Matt Campbell do battle, followed by Puleo and Lauby possibly vying for that final spot in the U.S. Division. And then, of course, Nick Lindberg and Larry Butler. Larry trying to cling onto his hopes in the playoffs. So every match becomes pivotal from here on out. And speaking of vying for the playoffs, let's have a look at the standings at the conclusion of Week 4, keeping in mind that Danny Lauby kept his head above water with a huge win over Jeremiah Millar last night, while Kiefer Durham delivered a staggering blow to Kerry Way. But looking at the Canadian division, Jim Long, Matt Campbell, Kylie Edmonds, Kiefer Durham control their own destiny. Jim Long and Matt Campbell seem like locks at this point. Sean Brenneman, Ross Nook, and Kerry Way. Kerry's playoff hopes are dangling in someone else's hands. It's out of his hands now. And we'll take a look at the United States and the standings in the U.S. as aforementioned, I should say, and it's a nice southern accent for Joe Chaney there. Danny Lauby with a win last night was huge. Gary Mawson and Jeremiah Millar still in the lead with Nick Lindberg there as well. It's all up to Puleo, Lauby, Butler, and Chaney. They all control their own destinies and have to hope for a bit of luck as well, considering there's still some bye weeks ahead. So with all of that in mind, if your head's not spinning yet, let's take a look at tonight's current matchup, shall we? Why not? Chuck Puleo, originally from Massachusetts, now resides in 102-degree Arizona, from what I understand, 46 years old, and has the nickname of Pipes, as we know. And Joe Chaney, the pride and joy of Mowbray Mountain, Tennessee, the 44-year-old known as the Chainsaw, saw him just last week, desperately needs the win tonight to advance and hope to get that fourth and final playoff spot. And we will get to talk to them in just a couple moments. But in the meantime, we'd just like to have a quick word from our sponsors. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. And Magic Darts Incorporated, a-zdarts.com. They have absolutely everything you could possibly need for every possible bar sport, but they've got an incredible deal going on right now. 10% off the entire Colonial line. Just use the promo code Colonial10, and that expires at the end of this month. In fact, we will be done with the tour, and this will still be going on. It ends on May 31st of this month. Visit www.a-zdarts.com. And now let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to meet Chuck Puleo and Joe Chaney. I mean, you don't have to. You already know them. But, gentlemen, I will ask you to step into your marks. Let's have a little chat, shall we? Chuck, it's the first time I'm talking to you on the stream. It is good to see you. Joe, I'll get to you and that beard of yours in just a moment. Chuck, just to get caught up, how's everything going with you? How have you been in the pandemic? I know You're in Arizona where it's hot. Tell us what you've been up to.
I've just been working, playing darts. That's it, like everybody else.
I mean, not me. I have not been working, at least not a real paying job. So I'm envious of you. But you look fantastic. You obviously have not missed a single day at the gym. Have things been a little, I'd say, a little calmer there than they would be in, say, right here in New York City?
Yeah, they're actually opening up starting Friday. They're opening up restaurants, haircutting places, stylists, and then Monday restaurants open up.
Well, it doesn't seem like that's going to be a problem for you. We're loving the new style. You look fantastic as always, and it is a thrill as always to be calling one of your matches. Taking a look at the rest of the season. Obviously, tonight's a big match for you, and it will be a huge match for Joe Chaney as well. Are you aware of the gravity of this match?
Yes and no. Naturally, you need this to move on, but I mean, you just try to play every game and win every game. At the end, there'll be 4 guys making the playoffs, and that's as simple as it is.
Well, we will be seeing you.
I don't put pressure to win today. I want to win anyways. If I was in first place, I'd want to beat. I want to beat them. So I'm just going to go out and play my best, and if it's enough, it's enough. If it's not, next week is another week.
He's also one of the great philosophers in the history of darts, and that's exactly what we expect out of you, Chuck. So thanks so much, and we will be seeing you next week on the stream against Danny Lauby. But moving over to Joe Chaney. Joe, you could have been the champ. You could have been number 1 right now. Everything has been in your grasp. You've had your throat or your foot on the throat of the competitors and just haven't been able to follow through. Since we last spoke, what kind of mental soul searching have you done?
Well, I really haven't, Colin. But what I do know is that me, Puleo, Lobby, and Butler are in the bottom half, and those are my last 3 matches. So I'm kind of saying 2, 4, 6 points for me by the end of the season.
Outstanding. Wow. All right. There's a nice smile. So there is no need to do any soul searching or anything. You just know what you're up against. Say you get out to that early lead. Are you going to be able to maintain that intensity?
Yes, I am. I'm going to go for 8 legs tonight instead of my normal 5 legs.
Oh, Joe Chaney, and there it is, a little bit of trash talk. Well, gentlemen, I will let you get right down to it. Go take your marks, throw a couple to warm up, and we will get this party started. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. We'll talk to you in a little bit. So once again, it is Chuck Puleo and Joe Chaney at a combined age of 90. Of course, Chuck from Massachusetts. The only thing I've never liked about him is his choice in teams. Otherwise, a bona fide champion who also represented the United States for the first time once we were in I guess, I don't know, concordance with the PDC, having Chuck represent the U.S. over at the Alley Pally in 2018. Joe Chaney, no stranger to the spotlight, to the stress. He has been a multi-BDO appearance player, we should say. He's also been a CDC Continental Cup quarterfinalist in 2019. Was a 501 champ at the Las Vegas Open and Virginia Beach Pro Shoot champion. And of course, Chuck Puleo rose to prominence on the CDC tour, taking the top American spot, and has also won multiple CDC events. So we're going to get this match underway. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you need anything darts related, go to a-zdarts.com. Check out their Colonial line. Use the promo code Colonial10. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's do this.
Shoot well, Chuck.
Shoot well. We're going to take 3, or we're ready to go?
I'm good. Whatever you want to do.
All right. Now, I'll throw 3 more, and that's it.
Okay.
All right, so Chuck is going to, Chuck, 3 more. And to everyone who's joining us right now, thank you for joining us in the stream. Thank you for sharing. We are one of the few, if one of the only, live sporting events where we actually have a real audience talking about you, South Korean baseball. But no, it's so great to have you all with us and to be one of the few outlets where you can watch professional sports here on the CDC Championship League. Joe, I know, and I'm sorry about that. I don't have control about that. But as soon as we start the match, you guys it will be shut off.
All right, Joe, I'm starting. Game on.
Shoot well, brother.
Shoot well, brother.
Hopefully they can't hear me anymore. If they can, that's out of my hands. But Chuck Puleo won the bullseye and will lead off a nice cover shot on that second dart. Looks like a 77. Indeed it is. So we are underway. And to everyone out there, yes, I want to get a haircut too. And I would love to get an autographed picture of Joe's head turned to the side with that beard. So Chaney with a 41 to open. Of course, we saw Chaney last week just came out firing. I mean, absolutely diabolical darts. Chuck has not been his usual self, but also he's one of the few of us that's been able to work during this pandemic and has not been able to put his full focus. He's had a bunch of things going on and has been very busy. So, it's not the Chuck that you're used to. It's almost Zen-like the way he focuses in on this sport and his craft. There's a 24 from Chuck, but he's going to get warmed up, and of course he's treating this like any other match. Just take down the competition. There's a ton 40 out of Joe Chaney. The chainsaw. Teaching America how to spell chainsaw the wrong way, but for all the right reasons. All for the love of the game of darts. There's Puleo with a ton. Once he starts finding that treble, watch out. Joe Chaney now. Looking for that early break. Again, so much on the line tonight. With a loss, Joe Chaney's playoff hopes are dashed. Ton 25 now out of Chaney. And we are at that point this week. We could see a couple fall by the wayside, could fall victim of their own ineptitude. If Kylie Edmonds beats Sean Brenneman tomorrow night, that is going to do it for Kerry Way's season. He can just hope to play spoiler. The same for Joe Chaney tonight. He needs to win to stay alive. Chaney now down to 60. Good evening, Jeremiah Millar. And hey, Anthony Eugenia. God bless you, brother. I love you. Oh, Puleo. Nearly the ton 48 out after a lackluster start. I got to stop watching the thread, get back to the game. My bad. Double 10. Looked like it was inside, and it was indeed. Puleo to hold throw. At 14 and 8 on his board, my goodness, they look decimated. It looks like it was fed to a rabid hedgehog. What happened? Oh, trying to walk it in, and he can't. Perhaps too much damage done on that 14. The treble told the double, don't let him in. There's a good marker for Joe,
Yes,
and it worked indeed. So Joe Chaney breaks on the first leg. Again, looking to get into that hot start that we've seen out of him all season long. Those first 4 weeks, Joe Chaney was unstoppable for about 5 to 10 to 13 legs. And then the wheels just fall off. Pat Gallagher, I would agree with you, except for after the 7th leg, yes, he does get backed into a corner, but I think we're all aware of that, including himself. Now, Chuck Puleo going after that Trep 20. Look at him go. Is that a ton I'm looking at? Or a ton 40 indeed for Chuck Puleo. Now you can see why he wanted those extra 3 darts. Joe Chaney answers with a ton 40. Back-to-back ton 40s. Things are heating up, folks. It's Taco Tuesday. It's Cinco de Mayo. I hope you've got yourself a margarita and a taco. There's a ton from Puleo. Joe Chaney with those darts. 23 gram, they hit the board like 35s. Anybody remember bumblebees back in the day? The yellow and black striped darts, they were fat barrels. God, those were awful. They were hammerheads. I used them. Didn't do well with them. But then again, that's why I'm a broadcaster. Joe Chaney now trying to get himself down to an out. Chuck Puleo is down to an out. And after nearly taking out a ton 48 and then relinquishing his throw, his hold to throw to Joe Chaney. That's right. You know what? In the thread, I want to know what you guys are drinking on this magical Cinco de Mayo. It is week 5. It is the 5th month and the 5th day. 5s all around. Hope you guys had a wonderful Star Wars day yesterday. My wife Julia and I did. We watched the last Star Wars movie, which we didn't get to see in theaters. We loved it. Chuck Puleo now to notch things up and break Joe Chaney. Single. Third dart hard to see from this angle. And no, he did not get it. It went just outside. There's a ton from Joe Chaney. They're all notched up at 40, but that can change with Chuck right now. Boom, first dart. Indeed it was. So we are notched at 1, break to break, back to back. Once again, I'm Colin Cosell. You are you. We're all at home. We're trying to stay safe and healthy. This is, of course, the Championship Dart Circuit Championship League, United States Premier Match of the Week, presented by Magic Darts Incorporated and run on the USA Darts Productions YouTube and CDC Facebook streams. Next week, as always, we will return to the Magic Darts outlets. There's a ton from Chaney. Peter Cetera is drinking the blood of his enemies. Well, we always look to you for the most uplifting thing to be consuming. I thought it was going to be like a nice scotch, Peter. I'm disappointed. Alicia, give that liver a break. Drink that water. We're proud of you. Ooh, Ghost Hawk Trouble IPA. Trouble indeed.
Garbage.
That ABV and a 60 for Joe Chaney, a.k.a. garbage. Whereas the 26 is known as breakfast, a 60 is now known as garbage. For someone like me, I beg to differ. So last time these two met in CDC play was a win for Chuck Puleo. It's only the second time they've ever squared off. There's a ton. 40 more than garbage. Jealous, Peter Cetera. Jealous. Dave Holmes, cup of tea, like a proper Canadian Englishman. I like it. That's also the fun caveat about this. As opposed to regular darts, you get to hear the players speak if they so choose to. Their actual reactions to their darts. So 122, there you go. And I, as a broadcaster playing, well, play-by-play and color commentator, get to interact with you, the viewer at home. Chuck Puleo with a lackluster 57. Joe Chaney looking to break once again. Will it be a game of nothing but breaks? How about a triple-double? How about a single and no? But that was a beautiful third dart to leave him double top. Chuck Puleo now just looking to get himself down to an out with maybe some fleeting sense of comfort.
Awesome.
Oh, the bounce out. 35 leaves him 171, 1 point away from a perfect out. You hear the sigh of exasperation. Joe Chaney trying to walk it in, walking it up. Climb down that ladder, Joe. Not that far, Joe Chaney. Come on. The ladder cannot stand the weight of your beard. Chuck Puleo now. Oh, a huge ton 25, putting pressure on Joe Chaney. The double 10 gave him fits the last time. Looking to walk it in. Not that way. Definitely not that way either. Chuck Puleo looking to hold throw for the first time in this match. Here in the third leg. 6, double top. Big, deep breath. Oh, geez, indeed. It sails just south. We've got a tie ball game here in the bottom of the third leg. One dart. Joe Chaney gets it, and it is a break fest, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you like break dancing. Hope you like breaking bread. Hope you like people breaking each other's backs. That's what we've got going on right here, right now on the CDC Championship Tour. Championship League, my bad. There's a 99 for Joe Chaney. Ooh, second dart just outside for Puleo. Really wanted to get that treble, did not get the right one. Chuck Puleo might want to sharpen that dart. Wonder if it's the same one that bounced out before. Still a nice ton 20, but what happened? Joe Chaney. Admirable round indeed. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we urge you to check out Magic Darts Incorporated, a-zdarts.com. Promo going on for their Colonial line. Receive 10% off at checkout using the promo code Colonial10 now through the 31st of May, which during the pandemic feels like it may be anywhere between 14 to 37 days away. Who knows at this point? Check your calendar and check out their website. Chuck Puleo had a chance to bring himself down to an out, did not do so. Joe Chaney now afforded that opportunity and has done so. Disappointment out of Chainsaw. Now the pipes. Just south of the treble. Looks like that's 2 times over. Nice cover shot with that third one, though. 97 leaves him double-double. If he so chooses, if he's afforded the opportunity. Chainsaw has other things in mind. Oh, the third dart does not drop. Plowed through that Danny Lauby style. Just no time to waste. Puleo's going for double-double.
Oh, Jesus.
Laughs his way through, and you know it was sarcasm. 18 to 9. Oh, the third dart does it for Chaney. And we have our first hold of throw. Joe Chaney with a 3-1 lead. But if we've learned anything throughout this season thus far, no lead is safe, especially when Joe's involved. And I mean that with nothing but love if he were to watch this afterwards and reach out to me. I just,
Jesus.
Chuck Puleo calling out to our Lord and Savior. Joe Chaney opening up with a ton there, it looks like. And ton indeed. So Chuck Puleo started to come into form during that first leg. Looked like he may have it during the second leg as well. But it's not looking like the Puleo we know. Such a fierce competitor and a philosopher, as I mentioned. Had a great interview with him back in Philadelphia last fall. Puleo told me he's a philosopher, likes writing down philosophical quotes, inspirational quotes. Got a couple of them out of him. He's got a book full of them. So if you see him, don't ask him about darts. Ask for some words of advice, words of wisdom. Now, Chuck, I'm looking for some big darts here. Goodness knows he could use them. First dart looked great, second dart not so much. The second one was the prettiest of the 3. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the dart players themselves are a part of the production. Don't know if that was a sneeze or anger. out of Joe Chaney, but whatever the case may be, exasperation. But these players are a part of the production. They set up the cameras, they set up their lighting, they work with L. David Irate and Kevin Malenfant to make everything come to you at home the way you see it. The angles, they'll differ. The sound, the lighting, it will all differ. But we thank them. We thank all of you players who are part of the league for everything you do. I know it is tough. It is a lot of work. Double for Chuck. And it looks like he got it. He did indeed. The double for Chuck Puleo brings it to 3-2. Big round out of Chuck. Is able to hold throws, so he had back-to-back breaks. Then Joe Chaney with the first hold of throw. Chuck to do it as well. Could be just the momentum Chuck needs as Joe opens up with a 43. But as I was saying, the players, they are very much a part of the production staff. And I think everyone's going to learn a little bit about what we do, what goes into every live stream we do during the CDC tour once we get back to the CDC tour. And there's a nice ton 40 out of Joe Chaney. Still yet to see a maximum, or are we? Oh, nope, not going to do it here. Puleo with a ton. Want to say hi to Mike Bowers, Marlise Keel, Kiefer Durham, Jens Detmer, and of course Pat Gallagher. Drink it in, man. Yeah. I'll have you know, my beautiful wife Julia actually just came running into the room to do the Pat Gallagher pose. If you're not familiar with it, then, well, where have you been? At this point, I feel like it's internationally known. Joe Chaney is now officially down to an out. Chuck Puleo desperately needed that treble, and he knocked it out. Beautiful third dart, so to speak. It got him down to an out at least. An easier one than Chaney. Chaney's got some work cut out for him here, and he's got more cut out for him as well after that first dart. But alas, 64 leaves him the triple-double. Now Puleo. What will he do? Oh, he's going bull. Oh, look at this. Oh, just outside the double bull. Got the single. Triple 19. Needed the double bull. He got a single. Joe Chaney now looking to take a 4-2 lead. Gonna have to go double-double. He was going for it, too. I knew he would, but he doesn't get it. Chuck Puleo. 9, double 8. At least I assume. Incorrectly, of course. The 1, double 12, and Chuck Puleo has notched this thing at 3 and made me look like a fool in the process. As I've said time and time again, you get your new board, you get your out chart, throw it out. It doesn't matter. Figure out what works for you. That's what these guys do. Beautiful job. And Pat Julia says hello back. Jen Schaefer, what's going on? Is that a ton 40 to open? It is indeed. Chuck Puleo now starting to lay down some pipe. The chainsaw looking to get the motor revved up and rolling again. Can a chainsaw cut through pipe? We're going to find out tonight. So now Joe Chaney down by a mere ton. Glad you got that, James. 60 for Chaney. Oh, first one looks good. Second one looks south. Third one, beautiful cover shot by Chuck Puleo. So Chuck shooting a 112 average here in the 7th leg, by the way, after which we will be taking a break. Maybe I've gotten a little lazy. I forgot to tell you guys that the format is a race to 8, best of 14. If we are tied at 7-7, so be it. Oh, look at Chuck Puleo!
Yo!
Oh, Chuck Puleo, diabolical darts. Don't know why Joe is still shooting. Chuck Puleo just took out a gorgeous 164, and we are at our break.
What happened?
What a way to take a break.
Well, the way you yelled, I thought you missed it.
I didn't want to yell. No.
I threw a 180, but it's break. That's 7 legs.
That is correct, gentlemen. It is, in fact, a break after 7 legs. So Chuck Puleo, once down 3-1, wins 3 straight legs, takes out a ton 64 to take us into our break. And with that, a word from our sponsors, Magic Darts Incorporated. Stick around, folks. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Colonial Darts line is available at a-zdarts.com. We've got a promo going on all month long until the 31st of May. Just go to a-zdarts.com, purchase any of the Colonial Darts line, boards, darts, and so on, and use the promo code Colonial10 to get 10% off. Easy to remember, right? Yeah, it is if you're not drinking margaritas on Cinco de Mayo. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Cinco de Mayo. I am not having a margarita. I will have you know, not yet. But I will have you know, Chuck Puleo was down 3-1 against the Chainsaw Joe Chaney. Chaney looking to get that extensive lead once again on his opponent, and then just relinquished it enough for his opponent to get in. That opponent being the man on the left of your screen, Chuck Puleo, Mr. Pipes himself, the man, an Arizona resident by way of Massachusetts, who just took out a 164 traditional route, trip 20, trip 18, double bull, exclamation point, going break, and our break is about to come to a close. So, gentlemen, I will ask them to come back to the board. But just a reminder to everyone at home, the Colonial brand was established in 2016 by Magic Darts. It was originally created to offer the public an inexpensive line of darts that were still made with good quality tungsten. The brand has evolved a lot over the years. Today they have nearly 100 barrels under the Colonial line in-store, over 100 barrels in the Colonial line in-store and online at a-zdarts.com. And the second version of the Colonial steel tip dartboard is available now. Again, you can get yourself a nice little discount, 10% off, and in this economy, given the trying times, why wouldn't you just use the promo code Colonial10? All right, gentlemen, get back up to the line. We got a lot of darts to go. We appreciate such an exciting first half, but gentlemen, it is time to get this game back on. We are it is a 4-3 Chuck Puleo lead. In the event we are tied at 7-7, so be it. Each player gets 1 point apiece, but each player gets to stay alive, stay alive. That's the best I can do. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right, gentlemen, let's get right back into it. Joe Chaney, you get to lead off this 8th leg. Best of luck to both of you, and they will shut my volume off for you as well, because God forbid you have to listen to a co-cell during a sporting event. It is hell. Just kidding.
Sure will,
It
Chuck.
is since I took over.
Too well, brother.
35 years ago, maybe a different story, but, I get it. I know my role. Jeremiah Millar, next time I see you, I'm buying you every single drink you want. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. It is it's a struggle, but it is fun. For those listening without or watching without the stream, Jeremiah Millar pointing out an integral part of this for me as well, doing play-by-play without a color commentator. Hold on a second. Oh, we just missed our first maximum from Joe Chaney from either player tonight. Still maintaining these fine averages, but I'm all alone in the broadcast booth, and by that I mean my TV room. Joe Chaney is in whatever room he's in, Chuck Puleo as well. All of us are working remotely and yet together to bring you live sports. And it's a lot of work out of everyone, but you know what, man? I love it, and I wouldn't trade it in for anything. It's actually the most consecutive CDC matches I've ever made, and I'm sure Peter Sotero would agree. All right, back to the match. Joe Chaney is down to an out. Chuck Puleo trying to get himself down to an out. Joe Chaney trying to hold throw and notch this thing at 4, ton 21. There's a beautiful first. Beautiful second.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Chaney with a ton 21 to answer the ton 64 out of Chuck Puleo at the break. You would have thought that would have broke Joe Chaney. Oh, hell no. Not tonight. No, not this way. Chaney is out to prove a point. He is not going down easy. And with that, we are notched at 4. Once again, it is a race to 8. Best of 14. Chuck Puleo opening up with an 85 as I get back into my golf, boys. Whew, sorry, I had to catch my breath for a second. My goodness. Chuck Puleo shooting an 85 on the match. Definitely bolstered by that last leg, or the second to last leg, the 7th leg, with that 164 out. Chainsaw. Oh, man, this has the makings of an instant classic, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back, relax, enjoy whatever you're drinking. And you know what? Yeah, have a Corona. None of this pandemic is their fault. Oh, the dangler. Oh, misfortune for Chuck Puleo. 3rd bounce out of the night, and that one just has to hang there and let him know I'm not going in. Diabolical. Is that a maximum? No, there's a ton 40 out of Joe Chaney, but he's down to an out. Chuck needs a maximum right now. And he's not going to get it. For those who do not know Spanish, Cinco de Mayo means the 5th of mayonnaise. Wait, it's not? I'm getting word from my producer that no, it means the 5th of May. 5th of May. It is the 5th of May. Joe Chaney. No rush at all. Now a little bit of pressure, if he so chooses. 52. There's the 32. Oh, he wanted that double 18. Funny thing is, in his bio, Joe Chaney says his favorite out doesn't have one. He's been going after that double 18 an awful lot for someone who doesn't favor a particular double out. Chuck really wanted that. Nice ton 25, though. Pressure's on Joe Chaney.
Yeah.
Second dart goes in. 5-4 Chaney now. Woo! How you doing at home? Chaney with the break. Opens up with a trip 20. Anyone else feel like this is Rocky 4? This is just back and forth. Chaney came out like Dolph Lundgren. Ivan Drago slugging, and then Chuck Puleo came back like Rocky Balboa. Gorgeous ton at 35 out of Puleo, though. And if he dies, he dies.
Oh.
Well spoken, Drago. Back to the darts now. Chuck Puleo really wants a third dart in that treble. Finds it. Third dart, ton. Chaney now. Slugfest going on. Jeremiah Millar, a member of the league, predicting this is a 7-7 finish. That will be in the hands of the very men you're watching on your screen. On your left is Chuck Puleo. On your right is Joe Chaney. In the production booth, it is Kevin Malafont and L. David Irete. And in the broadcast booth, it is yours truly, Colin Cosell, surrounded by two of my favorite people in the world, my wife Julia and our dog Bagel. Thank you all for being with us virtually here. One of the only outlets with professional sports, the CDC Championship League. A brilliant pivot by the higher-ups to make sure that we are bringing you live professional sports here in North America. Professional sports. We said it couldn't be done. We said otherwise. Puleo now down to an out, a ton 61. Hell, he hit a ton 64 before. Why wouldn't he do anything better? Joe Chaney, lackluster darts. Breakfast is served at 8:42 p.m. Eastern Time. A late breakfast, but I've had breakfast for dinner. Actually, doesn't sound too bad. But that's not on the menu. Chuck Puleo, no rush, no harm, no foul. Although Joe Chaney now with a chance to put some pressure on pipes. Sizes up that third dart and knocks it home with a triple 20. Huge round out of Joe Chaney. The pressure is now on the pipes. Can he make the pipes burst? Oh, a beautiful third dart out of Chuck Puleo. Brings him to double top. The pressure now on the chainsaw. And if you've ever operated a chainsaw, if you hit it too hard, the thing doesn't work so good. Oh, not the most traditional route. Again, I call it the mop method, matter of preference. It's just happening to be bull triple 20, double 5. Why not? Now Puleo trying to walk in. Needs a double 10. Oh, just a bit outside. Joe Chaney, the dreaded double 5. If you're not a professional, just admit it. You hate it too. Chainsaw. Oh, just underneath. There's a 1, double 2. Oh, and he leaves himself there. Not house. Now Chuck Puleo. Double 10. Good marker. Errant second.
Third.
Big third from Chuck Puleo. We are notched at 5. Jeremiah Millar looking like a soothsayer, showing off his clairvoyance, predicting a 7-7. Can it be? We will find out soon enough. Chuck Puleo now, after breaking Joe, gets to throw, trying to hold his own. This has turned into an instant classic here in the Championship League, brought to you by the CDC and, of course, our sponsors, Magic Darts Incorporated. I'm Colin Cosell, you're you, and we are all at home. Thank you for doing so. So just like we started, back-to-back breaks. Here we are once again. What's old is new again. with the exception of leisure suits. I'm glad that never made a comeback. Corduroy's still there, but that's on the Grateful Dead circuit. That doesn't matter. What matters is right now, Chuck Puleo. Oh, that first dart hurts. Second dart does not. Third dart. Oh, gorgeous. Smooth recovery from Pipes. We move over to Chainsaw. Boy, does he need a big round right now. Aaron, second. Oh, a big third, though. Not big enough. Awful start to the 11th leg for Joe Chaney. Chuck Puleo shooting a 115 average so far in this leg. 82 overall. Oh, mercy. There's no rush here. Looks like a 99, and it is a 99. Chuck Puleo in complete cruise control, unless Chaney were to get a 1080, which he's dancing around it, but not getting it at all. Double top. Oh, Puleo has caught fire again. A 111 average on that leg gives Puleo the lead 6-5. Wow. I'm not one to make predictions here. But it looks like Joe has fallen into his old, I guess, habits, old ways here on the tour. Not the tour, the championship league, the virtual league that we have going on here. It's difficult to pinpoint. But Joe has just been unable to go the distance here in this virtual tour, this virtual league. Again, 7 of the top shooters in the United States, 7 of the top shooters in Canada. Round robin format over a 7-week span. And then starting Tuesday, May 26th, the divisional semis, the top 4 seeded for each division. Each division, of course, being each country, United States and Canada. Then the very next day, Wednesday the 27th, my beautiful wife Julia's birthday. I hope you're all going to celebrate with us. The United States and Canadian divisional finals. And then on Thursday the 28th, the very next day, the CDC Championship League Championship. And then 3 days later, the Colonial promo ends on a-zdarts.com. 10% off Colonial 10 at checkout. Joe Chaney getting frustrated. The darts are not flying the way he wants them to. Has he run out of gas? Can Pipes keep it alive and end Joe Chaney's season? The worst part being, from here on out, Joe Chaney would try to play spoiler. Looking ahead at the schedule, Chaney plays against Butler. Larry Butler looking to keep his hopes alive. Chaney plays against Laube in the final week. Laube trying to keep his playoff hopes alive. But now, Chuck Puleo looking to get one step closer. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding, Chuck? Double 12. You can't hear me. Oh, he knew it. He threw it, but he just can't do it. Now, Joe Chaney, 154. Notching this thing at 6. The pressure building, mounting. I can't handle it. I mean, I can. I can't visit a cardiologist. So please, guys, take it easy on me. Chuck Puleo to take a 7-5 commanding lead would be his first 2-leg lead of the match. And he gets it with the second dart. Single 12, double 6. Chuck Puleo in cruise control right now. He needs one of the next 2 legs. Joe Chaney wins the next one. Has a chance at a tie. Still stays alive, but his fate is no longer in his own hands. Woo! Wow, this is just craziness. Remember, not long ago, Joe Chaney was up 3-1. Was the first and only to have a 2-leg lead. Chuck Puleo then won 3 straight legs. Of course, that ton 64 taking us into the break, taking a 4-3 lead, and is then held on to a 3-2 edge over Chaney. But still, the pressure keeps shifting back and forth, as my dear friend Pat Gallagher keeps saying. It literally, it could go either way. It takes one big round to get that momentum going. Oh, man. Still a nice round out of Joe Chaney. And out of all of these great darts, we have still yet to see a maximum. Chuck Puleo, what was that? Third dart makes it work. First one I felt might have been a little rushed. Perhaps one of the pipes got in the way. I don't want to say too much because, well, he could crush my face with his bicep. There's the maximum out of Joe Chaney. Just what the doctor ordered. Fantastic darts. Woo! Right on time. Nature Boy Ric Flair style. Chuck Puleo now.
Come on.
Oh, feeling a bit of the pressure. We have not heard that come on out of Chuck Puleo in quite some time. Joe Chaney. Oh, he needed that third dart so desperately. Chuck Puleo now has taken it 164. Can he take the semi-reciprocal out at 146? First dart looks beautiful. Second dart looks awful. Third dart, not so good either. Chaney now to make it 7-6. Looking to walk the dog. One step closer. Oh, that dart had a little too much gravity on it, and now Chuck Puleo to win the match. 76 out. Goes 8. Wow, he was going double-double, and he's going to do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, he wanted that double top. Maybe a little cocky out of Puleo, but you know what? With his resume, he's earned a Chaney now to stay alive. Looking to walk that dog again. One step closer to the end. And he's about to break. Chaney does it. Keeps it alive. 7-6. It's either a tie for these two or a win for Puleo. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, folks. I am exhausted. Woo! I am earning my paycheck tonight, and by that I mean, well, the love and adoration of my wife and dog. Another bounce out from Puleo? Fourth bounce out of the night from Puleo. If he wins, I would love to ask him about that. If he sticks around after the loss, would still love to ask him about that.
Fuck you, Joe.
Family-friendly darts out of Joe Chaney, now Chuck. Uh-oh. And that's a 180 out of Chuck Puleo. Anthony Eugenia, I hope I'm making you proud with that call. Not my best, but whatever. Maybe I'll come up with my own one day. Who knows? Joe Chaney now, a 60. That ton 80 might have taken the wind out of Joe's sails, the oil out of the chainsaw. Puleo with a ton there. Does not bring himself down to an out. I love you too, Aaron Quinn. Thank you. I am following you all in the comment thread. Now Chuck Puleo. A ton. No need to rush it, but he is down to a 2-dart out. Does he get fancy with it? Does he go double bull, double 16? Does he go trip 14, double top? Or does it get just like completely weird with him? Joe Chaney really wanted a maximum there. Did not get it. Does not bring himself down to an out. He was going double bull, double 16. 42, double top.
Third dart.
And there it is. Chuck
Good shot,
Puleo
Chuck.
pulls it out.
Nice
An
shooting, Joe.
8-6 victory.
Good
Joe
shoot, buddy.
Chaney's season is effectively over. He can only play spoiler. Wow. What a match. Joe gave it his all. Gentlemen, whew, what a match. Can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you, Colin.
Joe, your season is effectively over, at least playoff hopes. You can only hope to play spoiler right now. You really gave it your all there. It went back and forth. What did you see from your end?
Well, let me ask you this. With 1 point, would I still have a playoff hope?
With 1 point, I believe you would have. Let me take a look at the standings. You know what? I'll pull it up. It's actually a phenomenal question. I'm glad you asked.
Well, when he went up to 7 points, I was sitting there telling myself I was having this interview with you in my head saying, well, I guess Colin's going to take 5 points to get me into the playoffs with my 2-point win over Lobby and 2-point win over Butler. But I couldn't pull off this last player here.
With 1 point apiece, technically, yes, your playoff hopes would have still been alive. So I'm glad you asked because you actually forced me to do the research that I was not privy to, unless someone shows me otherwise. I'm sure they will. I've been wrong a million times before. But Joe, you've shown. What's that?
When he got to 7 points, like I said, I was like, well, I guess 5 is going to have to get me in. I knew it wasn't going to be 6 at that point.
Well, Joe, anyways, what matters most is, you put up a hell of a showing here. You pivoted during these trying times. It has been difficult. This is obviously with everything going on in the world and being a part of the production team, and for that we thank you. But my question to you is, as this is your last time on the stream, tell us about your experience here with the Championship League, what it's been like for you, and are you looking forward to playing spoiler moving forward?
Definitely planning to do the spoiler. But the experience is really cool. The CDC, there's a couple other people, trying to do some live streams or whatever, and I've got in with them as well. And technologically speaking, I've not ever had anything up, stream-wise. And last week I started up my webcam darts and getting into the webcam. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's getting me, back to throwing a little bit where, for almost a month I didn't even touch the darts. Then the CDC started up, so I started playing a little bit, to get in here to try to, make the playoffs at least. But, a little more work, a little more time on the board.
Well, excellent. Well, we thank you for your time. We thank you for putting in the production effort and everything. We wish you the best of the luck playing spoiler the rest of the way. And Joe Chaney, it is always an honor and a privilege to talk to you. You're one of the best characters in darts in the world, and it has been an honor and a privilege, my friend. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Colin.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time on the stream, Mr. Joe Chaney, and now I turn it over to Chuck Puleo right now, kind of in control of his own destiny moving forward. You've got a huge match against Danny Lauby next week. We'll get into that in just a moment. But after Joe took that two-leg lead, 3-1, you were trying to find your rhythm, and then you finally did. But what did that ton 64 mean to you going into the break?
I don't usually go that way. I usually go 999, 999. But since he wasn't on and out, I said just go trip 20 way, and you missed your stay there. So I hit the trip 20, and I said, go for the 8. So I hit it, and I said, for TV purposes, let's hit this. So, and I hit it. So.
And what kind of confidence boost was that? And by the way, for TV purposes, for us on a live stream, we love the fact you called it that. So thank you for giving us that credibility during these strange times. But what kind of confidence did it give you going into the break? And was the break kind of a pain in the butt?
No, the break wasn't. The real issue that I have playing is getting into my rhythm, getting into a rhythm with the other player. And I started to figure out how to get that rhythm going by the clanking of his darts and, when to move up to the line, because it's all choreographed. You know what I mean? It's not just you get up to the line and throw darts. I mean, for most of us, we have our routines that we come up to the line, or what we do behind the line while the guy's shooting. So a lot of that comes into play. So just trying to stay focused in the play, in the game. So that's the hardest. As far as being down, being up, I never really look at it that way. I look at it as just, find your form. Once you find your form, you're going to throw good darts and have opportunities to take it out. So that's the way I play. So I don't look at it one way or the other.
And we've come to know that about you throughout the years, and you've been such a fierce competitor and the first U.S. representative over the Alley Pally, and we appreciate everything you've done. Taking a look at the future upcoming, you've still got some work cut out for you. You got two pivotal points moving into Week 6. Danny Lauby's up next. What's your personal scouting report?
Danny's a phenomenal shooter. If you don't bring the heat, you're not going to have a shot. So I just gotta, like I said, find my rhythm and play my game and give myself opportunities. And if I do that, I'll have a chance. If not, he'll wax me.
There it is, straight from the horse's mouth, and straight shooting as always. Listen, Chuck, thank you so much. We're going to see you next week. It is going to be on the live stream. Things are really getting down to the nitty-gritty. And Joe Chaney, a class act as always, and one of the most entertaining human beings I've ever met. Gentlemen, thank you so much for a thoroughly entertaining match. On behalf of all of us, go get some rest, and then, I don't know, get some practice in. But stay safe and take care. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Colin.
Take it easy, Joe.
All right, gentlemen.
You got it.
And there is your virtual farewell. Well, of course, that's going to do it for tonight's match. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, sharing, chatting, and enjoying one of the few live sporting events available in the world during these strange times. We hope to see you all again tomorrow night. It is another important match for another person's existence here in the championship league. Sean Brenneman versus Kylie Edmonds. Kylie, with a win, will take out Kerry Way. His season will come to a close without playoffs. He will only hope to play spoiler like Joe Chaney. That will be transpiring tomorrow night, Wednesday, May 6th. As always, the matches start at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it will be on the Champ Darts Facebook page and USA Darts YouTube channel. And another quick reminder to check out a-zdarts.com. Go to the site, check out their Colonial line, 10% off of everything through Colonial-wise, that is, through the end of the month, 5/31/2020, using the promo code Colonial10. And also, while you're there at a-zdarts.com, check out their new blog with such riveting articles from such dart geniuses as Dax Munna. I'd also like to thank Dart Connect for everything they do. They're just simply awesome. Greg and David, you guys are amazing. And thanks again to all of you at home for being part of this. This broadcast was brought to you by USA Dart Productions, courtesy of Kevin Malenfant and our super producer, L. David Ireet. A special thanks to Chuck Schick for stats and info. We couldn't do it without you. And on behalf of Joe Chaney, Chuck Puleo, the Chainsaw, the Pipes, and our amazing crew working behind the scenes in the championship dart circuit, I'm Colin Cosell saying, hey, happy Cinco de Mayo. Have yourself a margarita or a Dos Equis. Have a Corona. They didn't do anything wrong. Enjoy it. But whatever you do, stay home, stay safe, take care of one another, be kind, and I will see you tomorrow night.